guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. My name's Alicia and I am so excited for today's video because we are going to be testing out a palette that I have heard nothing on. I picked this up right time it launched and yeah, I have seen nothing on the internet about it. I don't even think there's any reviews on Ulta, which is where I bought this from. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what we're talking about. This is the Nabla Read My Mind palette. This is the packaging. Not a big fan, but this is the actual palette, so it looks a little bit different, you know. I like this better than the, one you're gonna toss out. But having said that, this still is not like, doesn't really do anything for me as far as the actual packaging is concerned. It feels nice. It's nice and durable. It does feel like tiled. You can feel the tiles on here. But you open it up, you do have a nice big mirror. I like that the top of it flips all the way around so that you can actually hold it like this. And you're getting 16 different eyeshadows in here. Now I will have a little bit more details as far as, how this palette is laid out, what its intent was, the names of the shades and that kind of thing in the tutorial portion of this video. But right now I want to go ahead and just give you guys some swatches. Alright, so this is the palette all swatched out. As you can tell, nice like earthy tone shades. This one right here, which looks really green, I'll show you what it looks like in the pan. And I said green, it looks gray. But this is what it looks like in the pan, so that was kind of surprising. That was really the only thing that surprised me swatching it. But yeah, I think this is a gorgeous, gorgeous eyeshadow palette in general. Nabla eyeshadows, if you are not familiar with them, they are so easy to use, and I love the different textures and things like that you get in these palettes. So let's go ahead and jump to the tutorial portion of this video. Alright guys, we are going to go ahead and get started with the eye look. The only thing that I have on thus far is just my moisturizer, and I did put on my MAC Painterly Paint Pot. And we're going to go ahead and get right in with this palette. Now, I was so surprised because this has been out for, I would say, probably like 2 or 3 weeks now. And I have heard no buzz on this. I picked this up right when it launched because I'm such a fan of Nabla eyeshadows. I've got the Dreamy palette, I've got the Dreamy 2, I've got the Poison Garden, I've got the Secret Garden, I have the Side by Side, which I wanted to show you guys here. And then now I have got the Read My Mind palette. So I thought this one was interesting the way it's laid out. I really don't like the design. Like, I think this is super ugly, to be honest with you. But let's go ahead and open it up because that's what's important, right? So again, you've got this, in my opinion, ugly ass packaging, but, and I didn't even pay attention to that. Read My Mind. Okay. You of course have got a mirror in here. I'm gonna go ahead and take this protector off. And then the way that this palette is laid out, you've got 4 different rows here, and these are all like monochromatic type of rows, if you will. So you've got a scarlet row, you have a rose row, a sage, and then a honey. And then within this, you also have quads that are set up for you. So you can use a single row for an eye look, you can do a quad, or you can kind of jump around this palette. So I think the boring part of me says to just use this row, to be honest with you, but I think I'm gonna kind of jump around. All right, I also think that this little quad here would be really beautiful, but we are gonna kind of jump around. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. I could not wait to dive into this Dookie color right here. This is, let me see, the shades. So there are no shade names, which are interesting. It's just these numbers. So that's different. I'm gonna go into shade number 15. All right, guys, you know the deal. I want you to be able to see up close and personal what I'm doing. So I've got you guys pulled in, and I'm going to go ahead with a big fluffy brush, and we are going to go into this lovely color here. Now you do have a little bit of kick up, if you can see that in the pan there. It doesn't bother me, I just wanted to mention it. So you do pick up a good, you know, bit of product on your brush. Now I am doing my eyes first because if you guys know me, I definitely am going to do some sparkle. I just love putting a shimmer on the lid. I always use like a lot of mattes, well, a few mattes, usually like 4 or 5 mattes in my look, and then I will use a shimmer all over the lid. That's kind of like my go-to. This color is beautiful. I love this color. Even just putting that all over the eye into the crease, I think that would be a beautiful, like, one and done type of a look. Now, I think I want to use a little bit of this red because this is also calling my name. This is shade number 4. Yeah, shade number 4 here. And I'm going to put that in the crease as well, but a little bit lower. I love shades like this. Yes, it hits all of the right notes for me. Just keeping this a little bit lower so you can see that brown peeking through. And I absolutely, you know, like I said, I love just deep maroon shades like this. It is my jam. Anytime I see them in a palette, I'm like, yes, using that. All right, now I think I'm going to go into this shade and blend brush here, and I want to go into this sage color, just this like dark brown. I want to see what that's about. And I really just want to keep this concentrated to this corner over here, just this very outer corner. All right. Now for like the fun part, I really wanted to go into this shade right here. Oh my God. That does not look like that's what you're gonna be picking up, right? Or is that just me? This is shade number 5, and it is so creamy. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is why I love Nabla eyeshadows. You're always getting like, I feel like so many different textures in one palette. I just think they are so fun and just so different and unique. I don't know. I absolutely love them. I'm taking this shimmer and I'm also like putting it on top of that matte dark brown, and I'm just like tapping it, whatever is left on my finger. I want the darkness to show through. I want it to be like that shadow, but I also want the shimmer all over the lid. I just want it to like peek through with some darkness. So that's what we're gonna do. I mean, how easy, and I feel like that's just so pretty. You guys will have to let me know if you think otherwise. I'd love to know, honestly. It's just me, myself, and I in this room. All right, so I'm taking that first brush we used. I have no other product on here, and I'm just kind of buffing out these edges where that red and that pukey shit colored brown come together. That I love. I love those colors. I'm not hating on those colors at all. All right, I'm going to take this little tiny crease brush and I'm going to go back into shade number 4. And looking down, I really just want to concentrate this like cranberry / maroon type shade right in that crease. And that'll do it for me, guys. That'll do it. All right, I am going to go ahead, do my other eye. I'm going to do the rest of my makeup, and then we'll be back for the lower lash line. Alright guys, I am back. I've got on the rest of my makeup and I'm going to run you through what I have on the rest of my face really quickly. So for the base, I've got on this Yenza. This is the Super Serum Silk Foundation. It's got skincare ingredients in here. I love this foundation so much. I got it out of an Ipsy bag. I have mine in the shade Light Medium. I will have that unbagging down below in case you're interested, but this is like, hits all of the high marks for me. It's moisturizing, it looks like skin, it's got super high coverage, like everything. This has got you covered, and it lasts all day. For concealer, I used my Tarte Shape Tape. This is in 12N, which is fair neutral. So I put that under my eyes and then just in the center of my face to kind of brighten it up a little bit. And then the rest of my face, I used this Hourglass palette. This was a 2021 holiday palette. This is the Ambient Lighting Edit in the shade Universe, and I use this all the time. I have mentioned so many times how much I love this. It's been in a favorites. I set my whole face with this powder here. I've got the bronzer, the highlighter, and then today I focused on this blush, but normally I mix those two together and it's just like a nice, healthy, like youthful glow. I'm actually starting to like hit pan in this highlighter, so it's pretty serious. I've got a huge dip in the setting powder, the bronzer, I'm about to hit pan in that. Yeah, I cannot say enough good things clearly about that palette. For my brows, I used the Anastasia Brow Wiz. This is in the shade Medium Brown. Love that eye pencil. I forgot how much I love it. And then for the lips, I pulled out this Pat McGrath. This is from the second Bridgerton collection. I will have my Pat McGrath Bridgerton 2 collection linked down below as well in case you're interested. But this is in the shade Negligee, and I have just been loving these lipsticks. The ones from like this collection that I picked up were satins, and they are so freaking comfortable but yet pigmented. Best of both worlds. Let's go ahead and get in with the lower lash line. All right, for the lower lash line, I honestly think I want to play up some of the rosy tones, so I think I kind of maybe want to mix in between shade 2 and shade 6. So I'm going to take a little pencil brush, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to kind of dip into all of those. And again, I'm just going to do one eye on camera. The other I will go ahead and take care of off. I love a good rosy eyeshadow palette. I have the Patrick Ta, the new palette. I'm going to be having that one come up soon as well, so just make sure you're subscribed so you can catch that video. All right, now I'm going to take a little smudger brush, and I really love this dark brown shade here. That would be like a gorgeous liner. Also, you could use that with any of the colors in here to really make a nice smoky eye look, but something other than black, you know? It just makes it a little bit different. And I think the brown goes really nicely with all of these earthy tones in this palette. All right, so now that we have that, I need one other brush. I like to use a very precise, like fluffy crease brush to kind of blend my lower lash shadows together. So I never have anything on this brush, and I always just kind of very lightly, you know, go over those two shades, and I just feel like it helps to soften it up. All right, and finally, I think we are going to go into this shade right here. Hopefully this is going to be light enough to highlight our inner corner with. That is shade number 13. Alternatively, you do have this like nice creamy white shade too though as well. So potentially two like highlighting type of shades. So I'm just going to use a pencil brush and get into this inner corner here. So that is going to be it for the eyes. Let me go ahead and do the other eye, and then we'll come back for the final thoughts. All right, so I am back. This is the finished eye look, and honestly, I really like it. I know that's kind of a common theme with the eyeshadow palettes that I pick up, but generally, like, I know what I'm looking for, you know, and I buy these all with my own money, so I am hoping to really like them. But I will say, when I first got this palette, I wasn't that impressed with it, to be honest with you, before I used it. Now, having said that, I like this palette a lot better now that I have actually used it. As I mentioned, there are 16 different eyeshadows in this palette. We used 7 out of 16 on the eye look today, and I think it came together really nicely. I think these shades really do complement each other, and it's kind of like, again, like one of those everyday palettes you don't really even have to think about. Again, there are multiple ways you can use this. You can use them in rows, you can use them in the quads, or you can kind of jump around like we did today. Looking at the quads, the one that really gets my attention is this one right here. So I am interested in using this and literally sticking to the quad and seeing what I come up with. So you guys will have to stay tuned. I think whenever I do that look, I will film it. But yeah, I mean, I've always been a fan of Nabla eyeshadows ever since I tried them. That's why I have so many of their eyeshadow palettes. I think I pretty much have all. I even have some of their little cutie palettes as well, which I did not mention earlier. I've got a good bit of their eyeshadow palette, so I think that just speaks to the quality. There are 16 shades in here. Again, this retails for $39, so it's not going to break the bank either. I mean, you're talking about a little bit over $2 an eyeshadow, and this one alone that we used, that one is so freaking stunning. Like, so creamy. Until you feel it, I can't explain it. It feels like a cream eyeshadow. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye, guys.